Hey friends, welcome back to a new video. So we recently moved apartment and we wanted to be very intentional with this space. We wanted to be very eco-friendly, to be very minimal and just very aware and intentional about every single thing we bring in here. So let me show you all the things we decided not to get or bring into our apartment. So the number one thing we decided to go against is a sofa. It's so big, it's heavy, it's bulky, it's expensive. So we thought, do we really need a sofa? And decided, no, not really. So this is kind of like our makeshift sofa. Also, we love to gather here on this beautiful antique carpet that we have. We did, however, decide to get this armchair, or I really wanted this armchair. I usually sit here in the evenings and read. We got this armchair secondhand for a pretty affordable price, which is really nice, but mostly to play games, to just hang out, the two of us or with friends. We'd like to gather around on the carpet. And I just really love the fact that we didn't spend a ton of money on a sofa, and that a sofa is not something we're going to have to worry about once we do move again, to think about where it will fit, how we will carry this through the door, down the stairs, and yeah. This is perfectly enough for me and for Giannis as well. He basically just always sits on the floor. And yeah, I love this corner. It's so nice and cozy. And yeah, this is my relaxing corner. And because we don't have a sofa, we also don't have the need for a sofa table, couch table? What do you call it? Those low-rise tables that you have in the living room. And yeah, so not having a sofa was such a game changer for us. We saved so much money, and we saved the additional table that you would have with the sofa. So since we sit on the floor, we just rest the things that we would have on the floor. I mean, what do you really put on a sofa table? A cup of coffee, a cup of tea maybe? So you can just rest that on the carpet. So it's really two birds with one stone. We also don't have a TV here in the living room or in the apartment in general, because we found that a TV is just a visual reminder to watch something. I mean, don't get us wrong, we love to watch movies or series, and we do that about twice a week. But even though it's fun and sometimes even educational, more is not always better. Everything in moderation, I guess. So we have found that if we watch a lot of movies and series, we just find that we could be doing things that we love more with our time, or that is better with our time. So we wanted to get rid of the temptation, in a sense, the reminder. And yeah, since we don't watch it as often, we don't need a TV, and we used to just watch series on our laptops. And also, to be honest, I just find TVs ugly in a living room or in a space. And luckily we do have a projector though that my dad had from his old office that we were able to take with us, and so we just project on the opposite wall and watch something on the weekends there. And yeah, I really love our little setup. Saves us money and an extra bulky thing that we have in a room. And nowadays people just have such big TVs. It's crazy to me. I can be watching TV from the guy or the woman across the street, and I know what she's watching. I can follow along. And yeah, we just don't have a TV and haven't had one in a while, and we really like the setup. And with not having a TV, we also don't need a TV console or a TV stand, whatever you would have if you have a TV. So again, it's these little things where you don't think about, if you have more stuff, there's more storage attached to that stuff. If you have a TV, there's a piece of furniture attached to that TV. Same with the sofa. If you have a sofa, you tend to have a sofa table. So there are these kind of like add-ons to the item that you sometimes don't really think about. So yeah, TV console, something else we don't have because we don't have a TV. A lot of big furniture that we are able to skip out on, save space, but also save money and save hours working, because the money you earn is exchanged for your time that you work. So it's all just a win-win, and the beauty of minimalism is just present at every corner you turn. Something else we also decided not to get was a credenza. Now at the start I didn't really know that was a thing that people had, but basically it's like a sideboard in your dining room to store dishes and glassware in. Now for us that just didn't really make any sense because we don't have that many dishes and glassware, and I guess the less stuff you have, the less storage you need for that stuff, which is also a good thing. It's not really something you necessarily always think about, that your stuff also needs a place or furniture. So all our plates and glassware are all in the kitchen. It fits in there perfectly, even though it's a really small kitchen. And I think it also just makes more sense to have your plates and glassware and things you need to plate your food in the kitchen. So yeah, luckily we don't need and don't have a credenza. It's also something that I think is pretty heavy and bulky and expensive, I think. Just one less thing to store and to have in your apartment. So we're now in the bathroom, and for the bathroom we did debate on whether to get some type of bathroom storage. We thought about getting a under sink cabinet, but in the end we decided to go against it. Again, more stuff means more storage, so we decided just to reduce our bathroom stuff and just have what we use on a day-to-day basis here in these two containers, easy to grab. And I found that when things are out in the open displayed, you're more forced to, in a sense, to keep it tidy, to keep it minimal, to keep the clutter away. So we try to have only the essentials and store them out here, and this way we didn't need to or want to buy a bathroom storage in any shape or form. So we're in the kitchen, and the kitchen has pretty limited storage space. I kind of showed that in the moving home video. But in the kitchen, we decided not to get a microwave. A microwave is something that we used all the time at my parents' house. They have a microwave and it's super practical. But for some reason, when we don't own one, we don't feel the need to get one or use one. So we basically just heat up our stuff on the stovetop, or sometimes we will use the rice cooker to heat up stuff. It has this cool heating up function. It does take a while though, it does take 20 minutes. But yeah, I guess it's an aspect of slow living that I tend to enjoy. It makes things a little simpler, less techy in a way. I don't know, it just reminds me of simpler times, which I really enjoy. And it's just an additional cost that we can save on, and additional space in the kitchen that we can save on. Since the kitchen is so tiny already, we wanted to have as little kitchen appliances as possible. So our microwave is a place where we were really happy to save on and not have. So Johannes and I both work from home, so we both definitely need a space to work. And you can see back there, that's Johannes' workspace. Now, I didn't want working desk or desk to work at for me, because that just means an additional piece of furniture, an additional place where you have to put it. So I was perfectly fine and content with working at the dining table, just because it's the dining table doesn't mean it's only for eating. So this is where I work. I sit here, answer emails, edit my videos, and when I'm not working, I pack my stuff away. It's not a lot, it's basically just my laptop, maybe a notebook or so. And this way we just have more space in our apartment and one less furniture. So I don't have a working desk, or the dining table doubles as my working desk. And last but not least, we're in the bedroom, and as you can see, we sleep on the floor. We decided to not to get or bring our bed frame. We did sleep on the floor for quite some time back when we were living in the super tiny 20 square meters apartment. And we got really used to that, and then we did sleep in a bed for about a year, and now we're sleeping on the floor again. And to be honest, now that we're sleeping on the floor again, I find it so much more cozy. In the tiny apartment, we had to keep on, like, we had to pack our mattress away during the day for space, but now that we don't have to do this here, I much prefer sleeping on the floor. We do have planks, I don't know, for the mattress, just so there's better air circulation, so the mattress doesn't grow mold as easily, since you do sweat when you sleep. We love sleeping, or I love sleeping on the floor, and I would even consider selling the bed frame that we do have and that we didn't bring with us. You don't need a bed frame. And I think this is just so much more cozy, slumber party-like. Now I'm back in my favorite corner of the apartment. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you some inspiration, ideas about things or furniture that you would typically think you need. Maybe you don't need them. I want to inspire you and challenge you to question the status quo. Do you really need a bed? Do you really need a sofa? Oftentimes we also feel like we need it, and then when you try to go without it, you find that it doesn't really make much of a difference. So maybe there are one or two things you think you might be able to live without or would like to try to live without. I really liked how this time moving, it was like a minimalist experiment. We could afford to not buy certain things just because we've never owned it in the first place. I'm really happy with how our apartment looks like and is right now, and I really want to try my best not to add many things to it, especially because we have everything we need and any additional item would be a luxury, and I would seriously question whether it will truly bring me happiness. I mean, think about the money. You could put that into other things. You can invest that into your retirement. You could spend the money on an experience that I think would enrich your life so much more than to buy a sofa. And sofas are so expensive. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on minimalism, on finance, on healthy cooking. I do a lot of different things. Be sure to stick around for more, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.